My 25 male, fiance 24 female's best friend sent me proof of her cheating at her bachelorette party. Original post. First of all, sorry for the mistakes. I'm writing in a state between exhaustion and being completely drunk. So yeah, a pretty common story. Met her 5 years ago at uni. Fell deeply in love and thought she was the love of my life. 5 years into the relationship, she decided to effing crush me. LMAO. I want to break my skull right now. We were not a perfect couple, but damn, we were close. Her family liked me, and while I don't really have one, I felt so welcomed in theirs. We had projects. The first one was me buying this big now garage of a house near the sea, building a family on her own, on my own. I proposed to her earlier this year, and I couldn't think of a better night than this one. Why the F did she have to throw everything away like that? Yesterday morning, I woke up with a big headache from my little party with the boys, and what a surprise when I saw that my fiance's best friend sent me not one, but 5 effing videos. How naive I was thinking, oh cool, they had fun. Must be some fun or embarrassing moments, lol. To summarize the 5 videos, her kissing at least 3 other guys, making out really passionately with one, I mean really passionately, licking champagne on his body, and finally her being lifted up into a room and a lot of noises from behind the door. My friends are still with me, as dumbfounded as I am. I guess she slept most of yesterday because I had the first text last night and a shit ton of them, plus calls since this morning. I only asked her yesterday to tell me the truth and she played like nothing happened. I just can't. I swear to God, it's crushing my mind. She's just begging on text for me to pick up, saying it's not what I think. How cliche, right? Even her best friend is trying and told me we need to talk. I picked up just once, told her I know the guy, and bam, blank silence. Then sobbing and crying, telling me to meet to talk and explain because it's not what it looked like, before I hung up and timed off my phone. Even asking me who was the bitch that sent me the vids. Guys, I really thought I could have my own family. It was hard growing up in foster care. I guess I only have my bros and my job left. I guess I need some outside advice. Maybe it really wasn't what it looked like, but how to believe that BS? Edit. Friends typing OP is kind of a mess right now, but all your comments really is cheering him up a little. We'll keep answering until he feels like sleeping. Thanks everyone again. Didn't expect this to blow up that fast. My opinion, OP, is to just move on with your life, my friend. I know it's really tough and it sucks right now, but you'll find somebody that's worthy of your love and that will want to have a family with you. Stick with those who are truly your friends, and best of luck to you, OP. Now for some advice before reading the update. That sucks, man. At least you found out before the vows and the ceremony. Take it as a win. You dodged the mother of all bullets. A person who acts this way, regardless of male or female or otherwise, isn't someone you want to marry. Never will understand a sexual bachelor or bachelorette's stupid idea. So sorry, OP. That's really trashy behavior. You'd never trust her going out with her friends again, so better to find out now than after the wedding. It hurts now, but you'll feel better about it through time. Why do people cheat? It's just the worst. I'm sorry, but it's time to move on. Even if it wasn't what it looked like, why was she in the position for it to look like that? You're going to go insane every time she goes out and you're not there. Let her go and move on to someone that respects you. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. You can have your own family, just not yet and not with her. But you have good friends who stay with you. That is also kind of a family. You're not alone. Get sober, tell everyone the wedding is off, divide your stuff, decide who gets what, and that's that. Take your time, grief, and then get out of there again. It hurts, but your life is not over. I wish you the best. And now for the updates. Update. The wake up was hard, but I want to first thank all of the kind messages and advice I got. For the people who insulted my fiance, please don't do that, even though I understand how you feel. For now, I just need to go back home, so I texted her that she had until this afternoon to pack some stuff and leave to her parents' place, and of course, not with the car that I bought for her. She called me and begged for a chance to explain. So there was crying, guilt trip that I'm not believing her over someone I don't really know, telling me nothing happened in the room and that the kissing was all that she did. At this point, I was at my breaking point, but I held tears and asked to tell me the truth or I'd just disappear from her life. Some more crying until she confessed that all she did was oral sex on her and on him. Detailed, but nothing more happened because she stopped. She swore that's all that she did, but how can I be sure? I never saw her that panicked over something. She even proposed something like a free pass for me to cheat on her on anyone I'd like. What the F? I can't even describe how sick and disgusted I felt while hearing all of this. I hung up because, well, was there any more to say? Through all the messages and calls from her friends and family, it was mostly messages telling me to pick up and talk with the fiancé. Like a lot of people advise, I told a friend of mine to download the vids on his stuff, phone and computer, because I can't stand to have this on mine. I also picked up when her boyfriend called me and basically she explained that another girl invited her brother, who was a stripper, and his friends. That's why I already saw his face somewhere. She then took a solid 20 minutes telling me she betrayed the fiancé because of how much she didn't deserve me, how I was too good, handsome, attractive, and wealthy for her. I asked her if the fiancé ever did something like that before, but she told me no. I asked her if drugs could have been used, and she told me no too, because she was still going after the cheating. She then offered to come to my place in order to support me, but I kindly declined. I need to be alone right now. Wedding has been canceled, but I didn't say the reason to the parents yet, and I turned off my phone all week. I took a break from work, and my days mostly consist of going to bars and getting so drunk I pass out. At least we had good laughs with the boys, even if I can hardly remember the last parts. Thanks again, never thought this would blow up that fast. I'm kind of a very introverted person. I met my current friends, only have 4, but can't thank them enough, through my fiancé. She was the popular type at uni, while all I did was study and play basketball. She was my first relationship, my first time, my first everything. Throwing up 5 years like that. She keeps on texting me to meet and talk about this like an adult, sending me what she ate like nothing happened, and then trying to talk about our dreams together. That's so effed up. But fortunately, there is a nice old and an expensive bottle of whiskey waiting for me. Edit. Also, for all the people telling me to get with her best friend, it is not my priority. My fiancé contacted me again and offered me to monitor all of her accounts, not drinking or going out with me, etc. I'm not an effing jail guard. It will be my last update on this. I won't post anymore and mostly delete this account later. Edit 2. The story hit TikTok. Thanks for telling me, and my stepfamily saw it through the younger brother. I won't update anymore, but thanks everyone. Story 2. Caught wife cheating and I'm in turmoil, plus update. Original post. Caught my wife cheating and we are working on it. We also have a 5-year-old son. It all started in June when I found little notes in her pillowcase expressing her love for the man. When confronted, she said it was just a crush and was very apologetic. One of the things that I stated was that she was to break off contact with the man and quit the business group they were in together. Recently have found out that he barely goes anymore and is in danger of losing his membership. My wife had to bring in a replacement and she will be out of the group early next week. We did couples counseling, but it didn't really work out for us and we seemed to be doing better. After this incident, I became very nosy and the trust was gone, so I figured out her passcode and went through her phone one night in October and found out they still had been meeting up and communicating. I am not entirely blameless in all of this. One of her complaints to me was that she felt like she had to mother me and I was not helping out around the house as much as I should be, and she was absolutely correct, and I've been working on these things and getting much better, and she has noticed and said as much. My complaints to her were that I felt more like a roommate and the passion was gone, but her retort was that I was projecting things onto her and that we've never really been a passionate couple, which is mostly true. Up until this point, I had not realized that I was actually being cheated on, and it broke me. We talked it out and decided individual therapy would be the best move because she has a lot of personal trauma from her youth that has gone unaddressed. We decided to work on it and we've had highs and lows. Things are slowly getting better and she's speaking with a therapist, and I'm signed up as well to go to counseling because I have no outlet of anyone to talk to because of the embarrassment, shame, and anger. My trust in her is close to gone, and I fear they may still be communicating. I wonder whenever we have a great weekend or day that it is because she set up plans with him or they were communicating. She deleted his number, but I fear Snapchat may be a new form of communication. She is a fantastic mother, and I'm a great dad, and our home life is great, but breaking up our family is a thing I am truly trying to avoid. But I can't continue playing second fiddle to another man. I also do not have solid proof of any current infidelity, and I'm afraid to find it to be truthful. Because of the whole experience, I've lost 30 pounds, and whenever I've confronted her about it, she's extremely apologetic and says that she still loves me, but I'm beginning to believe that she just loves me as a father to her son, and the ship has sailed on us being partners or lovers. This is my first time ever posting on Reddit, so apologies if it's not the usual type of post, and I'm sure I left out a bunch of information, but I just needed an outlet. Willing to bet 90% of the responses to this will be that the marriage is over and I need to file for divorce, and to be honest, the whole terrifies me, especially with a young son in the mix. No one else knows except myself, my wife, her best friend, and the other man as far as I know. Thanks for reading, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer. Now for the updates. Update. I confronted her with my suspicions and my request. I requested that both of us speak to his wife, where I watch her write out a Facebook message to her and send it. I also asked that both of us need to speak to our parents about what we've been going through. Also said that both of us downloaded a GPS app so that we both know where we are at all times. We also already had an open phone policy that I reinforced, and she handed hers over with no complaints. Snapchat deleted, and there was no pictures or texts outside the occasional complaint to her best friend about something that I did from a week ago or so, which only amounted to light venting. Also asked for a post-nup agreement that if either her or I are caught cheating, the other gains full custody if we were to divorce. She was upset at all I threw at her but didn't lash out. Our biggest issue is that her needs right now are the complete opposite of my needs. She has said during our reconciliation that I'm always around and she never has time to herself, which we had agreed to make time for, but I had reservations. However, my needs are more related to reigniting our spark and to have more time to ourselves. We actually had a really great weekend this past weekend as a family, so I believe this really caught her off guard. She did refuse to contact anyone today, and I told her if she doesn't, that I will. Part of her therapy has been that she struggles with being told what to do and given ultimatums, so I knew this was going to be a rough spot. She decided to go sleep at her parents' house tonight and gather her thoughts, and I'm staying home with our son. Although she did offer to take him, but we decided to have him stay home. She will be back in the morning. Her parents live 5 minutes away, and I'm sure we will have another conversation and see where this goes. I sent a text to her mom to let her know not to push her tonight and let her guide any conversation. To anyone else, this is extremely strange behavior, as we've never gone to bed mad and neither of us have ever left for a night, so I'm sure her mom is slightly worried. I'll update again when there is something to share. Story 3. My mom is trying to force me to invite 40 of her closest friends to my wedding. I'm not sure if this is the right subreddit for this one, so if it's not, please let me know to correct the forum. I, 31 male, proposed to my fiancée, 28 female, this past year, and we've been planning our wedding since. Her parents offered us a generous sum of money to cover most of her wedding expenses, and after all is said and done, they'll probably cover 90% of the cost, with my fiancé and I paying out of pocket for the rest. We couldn't be more grateful and found a beautiful venue not long afterwards. We booked it for early spring 2025, and we couldn't be more excited to get married. Our venue is on the larger side and has a minimum of 130 people for that particular date. We started making a preliminary guest list, and even after giving most of our friends plus ones, we're just below the minimum. But we're still planning on expanding the guest list further as we get closer to sending out our save the dates. This past weekend we were visiting my parents and we let it slip that we're below our minimum as of right now. And my mom, 59, started rattling off tons of people that we had to invite, none of whom are family. In total, it was something like 16 couples, some of whom I knew growing up. Others were parents of my younger siblings' friends. I don't particularly care for most of them, and I only tolerated them because they're my parents' friends. Frankly, some of them are a-holes. I haven't had a relationship with any of these people in the past 10 years, if ever. A few of them I haven't seen since I graduated from high school. Some of them my fiancé has never met in the 6 years that we've been together. All of them have adult children younger than me, that I'm sure were included in the required invite, none of which I like. I told my mom in no uncertain terms that most, if not all, of those people would not be getting invited, and that she needs to stop telling them that they're coming, which led to her losing it on me in front of my fiancé. She complained that she is only having a few members of her side of the family attend the wedding, and that I owe it to her to invite her friends because it's such a big day for her. She went as far as to say that she won't give us a wedding gift if we don't invite her friends. Honestly, I could care less about that. If a gift comes with stipulations, it's not a gift. It's an obligation, and she can keep it. For context, the reason most of my mother's family isn't invited is because she had a falling out with them when I was little. I don't really know what it was about, nor do I care, but we went from seeing that side of my family at every holiday and birthday to pretending they didn't even exist. They've even reached out to her in the past to try and repair that relationship, but she's refused to allow them back into our lives. I ended up diffusing the situation and told my mom that we'll talk about the guest list at another time, but I meant what I said. I don't want any of those people there. They're not my friends, they're not my family, and I don't have any relationship with them. Based on the way that she reacted, I'm guessing she's already told everyone they're invited, and she's going to be embarrassed when she has to tell them otherwise. But frankly, that's not my effing problem. I think she's unbelievably entitled to have done that, and it's incredibly disrespectful to my future in-laws that my mother is planning to take advantage of their money and generosity to have a party with her friends. I know I'm going to have to revisit this argument with her soon, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get it through to her that she isn't the one making the guest list. If anyone can help me navigate this minefield, I'd be extremely grateful. And now for the advice. I think any negotiations will be unpleasant and frustrating for you. I'm sorry that's happening. I think you've done all you can as a good faith and straightforward communicator to her. As other commenters suggested, you should probably assume she'll continue to be rude. Hiring a bouncer and clarifying that your plan is to turn uninvited people away at the door is probably your best bet. You're not responsible for her emotions or her entitled behavior. She can figure it out or not, but at least you won't have to worry about trying to convince an unreasonable person that this is your wedding. Hate to say it, but this is the answer, OP. Communicate clearly to her that she does not get to invite those people, and if they show up, they'll be turned away at the door, and the bouncers will have full explanation of exactly why they aren't allowed in and who's responsible for the mess. So she can either make up whatever excuse now or have the bouncer tell them to their faces that Mom's name lied to them. Then gray rock her. If she keeps whining and begging and pleading and demanding, just say, "Deadpan Mom, this is my wedding, not yours. I'm the one in charge of the guest list, not you. If you yourself wish to attend the wedding, then please respect my wishes and drop this matter." I was in your position, except it was my parents paying for the wedding, so they increased the budget to accommodate their friends. We had 200 people at our wedding, 250 invited. I knew most of the people, but my poor husband met like 30 people for the first time that day. There was a table of 10 that he and I both had to introduce ourselves to that my mother insisted be close to the front, meaning a table of my lifelong friends got bumped to the back corner. It's been 9 years and I'm still mad when I think about it. Stay firm. Story 4. Am I the a-hole for canceling my daughter's birthday celebration? It was my daughter Rachel's 11 female birthday yesterday. I have another child, Ethan, 10 male, who's adopted. Rachel insists that he's not a proper member of the family as he's not related to us. My wife Emily and I attempted to convince her, although it was mostly I who did, but it had not worked, so we gave it up. We had planned to have a lunch at a restaurant and we took the car. Ethan wanted to sit in front, but Rachel told him, "Sorry, but only proper members of the family get to sit in front, and you're not really their child." He was shocked, and I asked her to take back what she said. But my wife asked me to not start an argument as it was her birthday. Ethan did sit back with Emily in the back, and so I did not argue. We went to the restaurant and she wanted an expensive dish. I ordered it and Ethan said that he wants the same stuff, but Rachel did not like that. She said, "You want an expensive dish when he's not even your dad in reality? I'd have thought that you'd be more grateful as your parents are dead and you're adopted now." I asked her to apologize immediately as I could see that it had really hurt him. But she just shrugged and said, "Well, if you want to have it, go ahead. I don't care anyway." But I told her, "You are going to care because your birthday's canceled. We're headed back." I asked them to head back to the car and she yelled at me and said she was just joking, that I cannot do that, etc. We had a really huge argument, but in the end I got them back to the car. My wife says that although what she said was distasteful, canceling her birthday was extremely uncalled for, and she's mad at me for having ruined her day completely. Am I the a-hole? That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.